cut this. All right. What do you have, Ryan? Questions you have?
For me personally, I managed to get 5.5 and 9.1
One.
done. I did want to go through the extra credit question if that was okay though, just because
That's an extra credit
uh
question.
well, it's marked on there as like it's starred out and I can't complete it because there's like a no response thing on there. So if
Do
I
you
can
know
just
which
it's in
question is it?
5.5. Like 5.5 question 9 or
Is
something.
that the one
Uh
with the? Oh yeah. Yeah. Um. So to respond that question, you just need to send me the answer.
okay. One
So
moment.
this one, right?
Yes, that's the one.
I don't know why I make it. So for that is you just send me the answer. You just ask my teacher and then send me the answer. And if you get it correct, I'll give you the extra credit points. Why that's an
Okay.
extra credit? So weird. Do I set up that way? Huh. Yeah, there's a star next to it. Should be extra credit. Yep. So yeah, so for question number 9, those students who are not here during the Zoom meetings, is an extra credit. You will also see this question in your test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to your test, right? This question.
Yes.
Yes. This is in one of your
Oh,
test
there it
questions.
is. Yep.
Yep. So for those students who doesn't know what to do with question 9 here, the extra credit question, type in ask my instructor, give me your answer. If your answer is correct, I will award you that point, the 1 point, which means it can go 100%. You should know how to do this. Otherwise, your test will be you will not know how to do in your test. Okay. So let me show you. So just you guys know what to do. Let me show you the midterm test. So the midterm is either sent it to you in today, just like 2 hours ago, in your college email, and you can also find it in D2L. So it's on the first page in the announcement midterm, which you go all the way down here. You click on it. It's in a PDF form, and then either you print out the midterm, as some of you did it, which is good. If you didn't print out your midterm, then take out a piece of take out papers more than a piece, and then write on it. Make sure you sign the pledge. This is telling you that you are working this on your own. No dishonest work, fair and stuff. So make sure you print your name, date, and sign. And also, for you guys, make sure you know what section your class in, because I'm teaching 2 sections over here. So if you're in section 1, put 01. If in section 2, in 02, it's very easy to figure out what sections you are in. You just need to look at your course, go to your D2L again, and if you see a 01 at the back here, means you're in section 1. If you're in 02, means you're in section 2. So this is your midterm that is, so you can either print it out or write on papers. There are some format that you might not know is this like question, some of the format is like question 4, where you see a little X next to it. This means that the question, the way, this is how they work it, but it is wrong. It's totally wrong. And this
Are
one
they
has 2 errors or 2 mistakes. Yes, Ryan.
I was gonna point something out, but I don't know if that's actually one of the errors or not, so I'm just gonna keep quiet about it.
Yeah, you can ask Ryan, ask me after class.
Okay.
Ask me after class when everyone's leave, then I can ask, then you can ask. So there are 2
Sounds good.
errors, not 1, 2 of them, 2 mistakes here that this is why it's wrong. And then after that, you have to do the corrections of it. Means that you have to redo this question again in the correct way. So so same thing with question 5. So you see anything X next to it means that the whole thing here is wrong. So you have to tell me why is where it's wrong or why it's wrong. And then after that, your corrections, you have to redo this question again. Okay. So I think that 3 of those questions popping up like that. Like no, this one. Okay. So they are like so mostly your test is mostly all that means it's all in order, means that mostly the first section is the first few questions in chapter 2, and then now is chapter 3, and then chapter 4, and then chapter 5, and so and then the last one is 9.1 that you guys have. So it's all in that order. So so I didn't randomly move everything around. So this is your test. It has, I think, 14 or 15 questions. It is 85 points. So make sure you guys print out or finish, do your test. Your due date is tomorrow by noon. But if you give to me by 12:15, 12:30, I'm still take it. It's fine. I don't take any. It's good because, you know, 15, 30 minutes, I'm fine with it. The only how do you submit your test is you scan it. So if you have your cell phone, make sure you have download a cam scanner or some other apps. Make sure it's free. I don't want you to pay for it. Scan your documents and then send it to me. How do you submit it? Is scan it and submit to me to my email address. Do not submit in D2L. There's no Dropbox in D2L. And also do not send me pictures. And also, I will take a cell phone and take pictures of it, like a selfie of it, and then send it to me. It's going to be very difficult for me to grade. So I would recommend you to scan it and send it to me. Okay. Does anyone have any questions with the midterm here? Anyone? Okay. Grace, you just not Grace, Lai or Grace. You just came in. So this is a midterm. Do you got your your midterm is in the D2L or your college email address? So make sure you guys make sure you get the midterm, which is right over here that I showed to you. And then a 5.5 question 9 is an extra credit. And in order for you to get this extra credit, you just need to ask the instructor and then send me the answer. Okay, I don't know why I totally forget. Yeah, I cannot even put on it. So send me an answer. What is the answer for question 9? And if you get it right, I will award you the point back. And question 9 is in your test. It's in your midterm, which is question number. What is the question? There you go.
10.
10. There you go. It looks as very similar to that. Okay, it's just different numbers. All right. Okay, so no midterms. If you have any questions on midterms, we'll talk after class, after the Zoom, so we can, so you can talk about it. So I'll leave this open here. So anyone have any homework questions on 5.5 and 9.1? Because if you don't have, we start with chapter 6, which is a little bit more difficult. Grace, is this 3 and 13 is what section is it? Is it 9.1 or 5.5? 5.5 is number 13. This 3 is also number. This one is, Grace, is this one also you're asking for, number 3? Only 13, okay, I'm sorry. 5.5, number 13. Okay, this one. Okay, I just want to point out to you guys that once you finish 9.1, the midterms, this is called college algebra. So everything that is 9.1 and below, your whole midterm is all college algebra. And then when you start chapter 6 is trigonometry. So that's why that is a bit more difficult. So we will spend a bit more time on that case. So we'll talk about this 13 here, question 13 on 5.5. Okay. This is called as after discontinued advising on the Tukey in 2010, the manufacturer is given us this model, which is represent the number of units sold. By T years, T equals to 0 is 2010. In 2013, 300,000 units were sold. So use this graph to estimate the sales for 2019. The reason why they give you this 2013 300,000 units sold is to find K, because usually if the question has a K on it, two variables here, K and T, you need to find K using this. So in this case, that's the first thing you need to do is find K before we do it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, let's find K first. A is use a graph. Okay, use a graph. It's gonna hard to use a graph to estimate the sale for 2019. 2019, I think T in this case is what? 0 is 2010, so 9, right? So 9 is around here. So this is the number. So it's right over here. So 9. So it's around this number. So this is going to be a 20,000 increment. So there's 20, 40, 60, 80. So it's around 60,000. Grace, are you okay with this one? So you have to use the graph to, it's right here. So it's around 60,000. So the question says use a graph to do that. So you just need to use a graph. And then question B is where you need to find the K. So so in order for you to find the K here, you have to use this 2013. So in this case, T is 13 because yeah, T is 2013. And this is, wait a minute. Wait, no. T is 3 because 2013 is 10, so 3, yeah, hello. And S in this case is 300,000. So you're going to plot this using this equation. So 300,000 equals to 500,000 over by 1 plus 0.2. T is 3, so it's 3K, e to the 3K. So what we need to do first is we have to move this to the other side. So what do I do is I interchange these two. So as long as it's a proportion, you can interchange your fractions. So this will be 1 plus 0.02 e to the 3K. And this is 500,000 over 300,000. So you have to divide this. And no rounding. Please do not round this to the very end. So this one is very easy because all the zeros will cancel out. So this is actually is 5/3, 5 over 3. And what we do next is to solve for K. So we need to get rid of the 1. So I subtract 1. So 0.2 e to the 3K is equals to, this is 3 over 3. So it's 2/3. And then next, I need to get rid of the 0.2. So I divide this by 0.2. And then in order for me to get rid of the e, I ln both sides. So this whole thing in parentheses, ln. So make sure that when you put in your calculator, the whole thing has to be ln. And then in order for me to get rid of this 3, so that k is by itself, I divide this by 3. So now take out your calculator and you do ln of this whole thing, divide by 3. So in my calculator, I need to divide those first. So 2/3, 2 over 3, divided by 0.2. This is 0.2. Divided by 0.2. And then I have to ln it, the whole thing. And then divide by 3. So what you get? 2 point something. I'm going to use my other calculator because I do not like it. How many decimal places we need for K? Round your answer in 3007. I'm going to use my calculator and see if I can, if this is a correct one. Just my the computer calculator is horrible. See what we have here. Ln of 2 over 3, oh, 2/3. Yeah. 2/3 divided by 0.2 and then divided by 3. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is not the correct number. It should be 0.401. Let me redo this again. I think it's 3.3. Sorry about that. This is, I don't like my, then divide this by 3. Yep. Yep, this is correct. 0.401. Yep. So your K in this case is 0.401. Grace, are you doing okay there so far? Just this calculator is very bad. And then after that, for C, you just need to estimate the 2019. So in this case, your equation will become S equals to 5,000, 500,000, 500,000, 1 plus 0.2 e to the this ANS. I just use ANS because it's your t. So this, you want 2019. So what you do is your t is 9. So you just need to substitute this t with 9. And then you use your calculator again to figure out what is your answer here. So it's mostly all very heavy on calculator piece here. 500,000 divided by, when you put this in your calculator, make sure you put an extra parenthesis around it. Some of you who make sure you have a parenthesis around because you will get wrong. So put a parenthesis after you divide 1 plus 0.2 e to the power, e, 0.2 e to the power of ANS times 9. So you should get 59,471. I think they want it to the nearest whole number. So 0.36. So it should be 59471. 59471. So that's how you do part C. And then the last part is the algebraic results. So what they want you to do is your answer in part A and the answer in part C here, are they same or close? They are similar because 60,000 and 59 fourths is very close. So Grace, are you all right here so far? So in your calculator, make sure you put an extra parenthesis here. That's a lot of students make mistake here, is they didn't put extra parentheses and they'll make it wrong. Any more questions, Grace, you have for me? On 5-1 and 5-5, 5-5 and 9-1. You two, Ryan and Parker, you guys are doing all right, right? With this 2 homework?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine. We're gonna talk about chapter 6, which is the tough ones. Yep. Grace, you got any questions for me? Grace, you can ask. You only have 3 today. I was shocked. I thought you have more. I have more students because your midterm is here. So I thought they will be talking more on the midterm here. So we're gonna talk about chapter 6 here because your next homework due on the coming Tuesday will be 6-1 and 6-2. And I told you before, chapter 6 onwards, everything underneath it is all going to be trigonometry. So we'll do sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent. So we'll talk about 6.1 now. And then after that, if we have time, we'll do 6.2. So, and then at the end of the Zoom, then we'll talk about your midterms if you have any questions about it. So 6.1, we talk about what we call as trigonometry. The first section, 6.1, is talking about angles and measurements. So where we talk about degrees and radians. Mostly everything is fine. Okay, before I continue, I don't know how many of you will know, but we'll talk about your angle first. This is very important. Okay, so angle, in order for you to have an angle, you need to have 2 rays. This is called the initial ray, and this is called a terminal ray. So that means you need to know where is the initial and where's the terminal. So if you know that's initial and terminal, if you go this way, this is your angle. And this angle, if you go what we call as counterclockwise, this angle is positive. Okay, but you can also go this way, because this is the initial and you also go to terminal. This is also another angle. This angle is gonna be a negative angle because it goes clockwise. Okay, so make sure you know that the positive angles go counterclockwise, the negative angles goes clockwise. For angles, we will not use XYZ, we will use alpha, beta, gamma, or even theta. Okay, so this is called theta. If you want to use XYZ, we use uppercase. So A, B, and C. So to differentiate between angles and other variables, XYZ or ABC, we all use uppercase. So make sure that when you guys do this homework, if you see an uppercase letter, means it belongs to an angle. Okay, not a side or something else. Then the next thing is conversion. So degrees is what we use a lot here. Okay, so degrees is what we use a lot. So we know 90 degrees, which is what we have here. So 90 degrees is where it goes exactly like that. But if you have a negative 90 degrees, means what you're gonna do. Which one of these is a negative 90 degrees? A, B, C, or D? Which one is negative 90 degrees here? Is it A? Is that B? Is that C? Or is that D? Yep, that is B. Okay. Negative 110 degrees. Is that A, B, C, or D? So this is not that
So that's
difficult.
D.
Yes, it goes this way. It's D. Yep. So now if you go over 360, so if any angles go over 360, what you do is you just subtract 360 until the domain is between 0 and 360. So what you do like 405, so what you do in 405 is you just subtract 360. 405 take away 360. So you will get 45. So that means you just draw 45 degrees. So 45, this is a positive. So which one of this will give me a 45 degree? A, B, C, or D?
C.
You will see. Now in your test, which is your finals, because your final starts from chapter 6 onwards, if I want you to draw this 405 degrees, what you need to do here is, although it looks like C that you guys point out looks something like this, but when you draw it, make sure that you draw arrows, and because it is a positive, it goes something like this. So you have to go one full circle to point out that's over 360 and then 405. So this is a 405 degrees in this case. You guys all right? So this is what I will ask in the in your midterms if I ask you to draw me your 405 degrees, not like what you see in your online homework here, which is very different. Okay, so you do need to. A lot of students, they just draw like this. Make sure you tell me, the arrow is very important to tell me that are we doing clockwise or counterclockwise to figure out are they positive, negative. So so make sure you guys know how to do this. Okay. Next, conversion. How do we convert this kind of units? Okay. So those are what we call as DMS. So degree to DMS. What is DMS stands for is degree, minutes, and seconds. So if you see a little Z, this is a degree sign, which is I think everyone up here. Minute is one little slash, and second is two little slash here. So if you want to convert degree to DMS, for example, is 60.79 degrees. If you want to convert to DMS, it's very easy because the degree is 60 degrees. So for sure, 60 degrees. So in order for us to convert this 79.79 into minutes and seconds, you have to multiply. Okay, so you take the 0.79, and in order for us to do minutes, you multiply by 60. So 0.79 times 60, you will get 47.4. So this 47 is your minutes. Okay. And now you want to figure out your seconds. So in order for us to do the seconds, you take the last decimals, which is 0.4, and you multiply it by 60 because 1 minute has 60 seconds, and that is 24. So this will be 24 seconds. So this is how you convert 60.79 to become DMS. So the 60 is the degree, the 0.79 you multiply 60, the whole number will be a minute. The decimals, you use it and multiply by 60 again, and that will give us a second. So this is how we convert DMS, a degree to DMS. If you want to go the backwards way, instead of multiply, we will divide. Okay. For example, if you want to convert the same thing, 60 degrees, 47 minutes, and 24 seconds to become degrees. So what you do in your calculator is you take 60 plus 47 because it's the minutes. So instead of multiply, you divide by 60. This is divide. And then plus, this is seconds, so 24. You don't divide by 60 here because this will convert it to minutes. But I want it in degrees, so you have to do 3,600, which is 60 times 60. So if you type all this in your calculator, you will get a decimal, you will get your answer in degree. So it will be 60 plus 47 divided by 60 plus 24 divided by 3,600. That will give you exactly 60.79. You guys okay here?
Yes, sir.
So if you see this kind of questions there, if you have a negative in front, you just temporarily ignore the negative, like question D. Just do the same thing, and then once you finish doing it, you just slot in the negative next to it. Okay, if you have a negative, just do the same thing, ignore it, and then after that, put a negative. So I want you guys to go ahead and try question 10B now. Go ahead and try 10B. This is degree, and this is minutes. It doesn't have any seconds. Okay, no seconds, just minutes. This is easy. Try question 10B. Negative 136 degrees, 45 minutes. Again, these are all basic stuff in trigonometry. And if you doesn't know about all this conversion and all these angles, say goodbye to the whole trig part, because you will see this a lot in this class, in the half of this class. Okay, try to do this. If you can, private message, you need 3 of you guys. Oh my God, if I have 3 students in my classroom, oh, and you guys are
social distancing.
I know. Well, no, it's like you guys are good students. You know, if COVID is not here, if I have 3 students, they will cancel the class immediately. So go ahead and try to do this and tell me what is your answer for 10B. Private message me. Make sure you private. Don't put to everyone, so everyone can just private message me to David Liu. You need calculators. This is easy. It's not that tough. Yep, that's correct, Parker. Nope, that's wrong. Grace, ignore the negative. For question 10, don't do the negative first. So don't do this first, do this. And then once you get your answer, you put a negative next to it. That is wrong. Grace is wrong. Ryan, you okay there? Yep, that's good. Ryan is correct. Grace? Yes, you can. Do you guys know the complement and supplement, right?
Oh, that's really taking me back.
Yeah, complement is where the two angles add together, you get 90 degrees. And supplement is where the angles you add together get 180. Like if your angle is more than 90, like this is 165, the complement will be D and E because it's more than 90 degrees. So you cannot have that. So you just, for complement, you take 90 degrees minus that. Supplement, you take 180 minus it. Just very straightforward type. And then, yeah, so yeah, we will talk a lot. So that's why you need a little brush up here. So, but if your angle is more than 90, like 165, then complement will be D and E because it's more than 90 degrees. We'll talk about coterminal angles next while we wait for Grace here. Which there's a multiple slip. Grace, we won't take you. Oh, Grace is exactly what I just did here. So don't put in the negative, ignore the negative. It's 136 plus, this is like this, 45 over 60. That's it. Put in your calculator, 136 plus 45 over 60. This is easy, Grace. It's not tough. So what you get, Grace, when you put 136, yes, that's your answer. And then you just put in a negative inside, 136.75 degrees. And then you put a negative, that's it. So the negative is just ignore it. That's it, that's your answer. It's not tough. It's not that tough. Next, we'll talk about coterminal angles, which is this type. So what is a coterminal angles? Coterminal angles is where they will share the same initial and they will share the same terminal side. So remember last time when you have 45 degrees, let's say. So in order for us to do a coterminal angles for 45 degrees is you take this angle, theta, and you keep on adding 360 degrees K, where K in this case are integers. And integers is like -1, -2, -3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I give you 45 degrees, you can do a coterminal angles, you just add 360. So that will become 405, which we just did it before. So this is a 405 degrees, which they will share the same initial and the same terminal. And if you keep on adding 360, this will keep looping around here. Okay, and this is called the positive coterminal angles when you keep on adding it. In order for you to have a negative coterminal angles, instead of adding 360, you subtract 360. So if you take 45, subtract 360, I think it's -315. That means this one goes clockwise like that. So this is 315, -315 degrees. And if you keep on subtracting 360 degrees, which is -675 degrees, means you just loop it there. Okay, so it depends. I mean, so in some of your homework, they wants you to find the positive and the negative. So what you do is you just keep on adding 360 or subtracting 360 until the number you get is a positive angle, all the number that you get is a negative angle. So this is called a positive and negative coterminal. So for example, it's like question number 11A. They want you to figure out that give another coterminal angles that's one positive and one negative for negative 500 degrees. So what do you do here is, because this is already negative, so you do not want to subtract 360. You can if you want, but I will want to add 360. So when you take negative 500 and when you add 360 to it, where's my negative side? There you go, negative. There you go. Plus 360. You still get negative 140 degrees. So this will be your negative coterminal angle. But in order for us to find the positive one, what you need to do is you have to add another 360 till the angle become positive. So this will become 220 degrees, and this will be the positive one. So your answer in this case will be negative 140 and 220. So this is how we do the negative and positive. Put a space in between them. Maybe I need to put a space between them. Let me see. Yep. You guys all right here so far?
So when we're doing, for lack of a better term, the loop-de-loops, essentially, when we're describing the angle here, is there any shorthand to do that in such a way where it's our paper doesn't essentially become a mess of just constant circles, or is that actually just the right way to describe it?
It's gonna be per. So this one you have to draw one circle, and then this one you have to draw one angle, and this one you have to draw. So you don't draw two angles at one time. You know what I'm saying? So this one, if I want you to call 4, 5, then you draw like this, and then this one you will draw like this. So you have to draw two separate graph instead of one graph in two. I would not want you to do this because it's gonna be. I mean, I use colored pens because it's easy to see, but if it's all pencil, for me to grade is hard. So in your test, I usually will ask you to draw one of this, but if I ask you to draw two, then you have to separate them into two, like what I just did in here.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I won't call you to do like this when you draw both of them in the same graph. It will be very difficult for you guys to see it. You guys all right with the coterminal angles? Again, this is very basic stuff. You need to know this. So some of you have revision, that's good. So this is all in degrees, okay? So angles can be also measured in radian. This is degrees everyone knows, right? 360 degrees, 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, everyone knows about that. But radian is the one that is a special case, okay? Radian, the first thing I want to point out here, has no unit. So when you guys do in your homework or especially my test, if you give me 7, if you have no units, I'll treat it as 7 radian. And 7 radian and 7 degrees is two completely different things. Okay, so let me point to you what's radian first, and then I'll tell you what is 7 radian is and 7 degrees, how your graph looks like. Okay, so radians usually we use pi. Okay. So usually we know this is 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270, and then 360, right? So you guys know the degrees here. So for us to use radian, this is still 0 radian. This is pi over 2. This is pi. This is 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi. So we use pi as radians usually. Yep, unit circle will be next. Yeah, we will talk about unit circle. Yep, these are unit circles. We'll talk about that. So these are all corresponding degrees to radian. So when I want you to do like 5, where is 5 pi over 4? Okay, so what quadrant? Again, how do you draw 5 pi over 4? What quadrant is this line? Okay, so a lot of students have no idea where is 5 pi over 4 quadrant lies. So what you do is you have to figure out decimals. So this is 0.5 pi, because half of it. This is exactly 1 pi, and this is 1.5 pi. So in order for you to do what is 5 over 4, so you just divide 5 over 4, which is this is 1.25 pi, which is right over here. So this is in quadrant 3. You guys okay here? Because 1.25 is between 1 and 1.5, so it's right in the middle here. So that is how you draw how do you figure out what quadrant belongs to. So my question to you guys is, where is negative 6 pi over 7? What quadrant is this lies to? Nope. This is tough. If positive, you guys know what to do. Yes, you guys are, oh, I know how to do positive. You guys are like, and once I hit the negative ones, you guys have to do the backwards, the clockwise. Then you guys like, oh, what's going on here? Quadrant 3. That's right. That is correct. Okay. So for those students who doesn't know what happens, as you know, negative goes clockwise, go clockwise, sorry. So this is 0. So for the negative, this is negative pi over 2 now. So this is negative 0.5 pi. This will become negative pi. And this will become negative 3 pi over 2, which is negative 1.5 pi. So don't forget, negative 3 pi over 2 and pi over 2 are the same. We call it coterminal. So, so negative 6.7, if you take out your calculator, 6 over 7, this is 0.857 somewhere. So it's going to be somewhere here, also in quadrant 3, because this is negative 0.5, this is negative 1. So negative 0.8 something is right here. So this is in quadrant 3. So make sure you guys know the negative go clockwise, the positive go counterclockwise, and the radian change the direction. So make sure the blue one is a positive one, the purple one is a negative radian. So now my question to you is, what is 7 radian and what is 7 degrees? Does anyone know the difference? If I call you to graph 7 degrees, you guys have no problem graphing 7 degrees, right? 7 degrees is just a very tiny little, like this one, right? This is 7 degrees. Everyone know how to do 7 degrees. Anyone know how to draw a 7 radian?
Well, if it's represented by 1 and 2 pi for rotations around, wouldn't it go around multiple times essentially before
not multiple
it actually
times?
arrives?
Nope. Good try. See, this is the one that a lot of students, oh, 7 means I'll go down maybe 3 times or 7 times. Nope. Nope, nope, 7 times, nope. So this is the trick here, so make sure you know. Don't forget, 2 pi, if you use your calculator, 2 pi, where's my pi symbol? There you go. 2 times pi. This is actually is same as 6.2 something, 6.28. So a 7 radian is gonna be one here is 6.283, and then the 7 is gonna be a bit like that. So this is 7 radian. So it's gonna be 1 full circle, which is 6.283. And then can someone tell me what is this little, what radian is this one is? What value is this fellow is? So what you do here is, because this is 6.283, the whole circle. So you subtract this by 7. So you take this minus 7. So this is 0.716. Oh, which is not in the right, or 0.716 is the wrong. I need to erase this because this is not. Because 0.716 is actually more than half, right? No. What's pi divided by 2? Yep, this is all going to be very tricky. Oh, 1.5. Okay, so it's exactly half here. So yep, this is correct. So it will look something like this. Yep. And this is 0.716. So so what I want to point out to you here is if in radian, if a question is in pi, then you follow the pi that we have. But if a question given us without any pi, you will change all this to become decimal. So this will be 2 pi will become 6.283. Half of a pi, let me do it by 2. I just did it just now. So this one is also 1.571 radian. So which is the same thing as 90 degrees. And then pi, this is 3.142. And then this is 3 pi over 2, so 3 times pi over 2. This is 4.712. You guys okay here? Is that tricky? Radians. Radians are very tricky because you have to figure out not just positive, negative, you also have to figure out are they in pi form or are they in number form. If it's a pi form, then you follow that 0, pi, half pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. But they're in a number form, then you have to convert all them into decimals to figure that out. For example, like here, B. Can someone tell me -4? -4. This is, I told you, this is basic. This is called basic. So which is -4? A, B, C, or D? Yep. So the answer is D. The reason why is because negative means you go clockwise. From here to here is pi. Pi is -3.142. So for -4, it goes a little bit up. So your answer will be D in this case. Okay. So see the difference between B and see the difference between A. So when you do A, this is pi. So anyone know what is part A is? 13 pi over 6.
13 pi.
Can someone private message me? Don't put it to everyone. Parker, can you private message me? Is that gonna be A, B, I don't know what, something like that, C, or D? Yep, Grace, that is correct. Yes, Parker, you are correct. Ryan, you okay? Are you doing your test, Ryan? He's doing a test. Yep, good. You guys got it right. So so 13 pi over 6, 12 pi over 6 is 2 pi, which is 1 circle. And so you have, so this, if you go 1 whole full circle, and then this is actually is over 1 full circle is pi over 6. So your answer will be D. Yep, you guys good. Yep. So so just be careful with your radian here. So the next thing I want to point out to you is if you remember last time when you do the core terminal angles, you add 360K, right? 360 degree K to your angle. So but now this is in degree. So in radian form, you change the 360 to become 2 pi. So it's 2K pi or 2 pi K or 2K pi, whatever you want to do. So if I want you to figure out what is the positive and the negative core terminal angles, you for radian case, you just need to add 2K pi instead of 360. For example, like this case, like -3 pi over 7. So if you want to be a positive one, so what you do is you add 2 pi. K in this case is 1. So remember last time I say keep on adding 360 or keep on subtracting 360. So here you just say keep on adding 2 pi and keep on subtracting 2 pi. So so this one you need to find a common denominator, which is 7. So this is 7. So -3 plus 14, it will be 11 pi. So this will be the positive one. For the negative one, instead of subtracting 2 pi, instead of adding, you subtract 2 pi. And then you, again, over 1, this is 7, and this is common denominator 7. So in this case, this is negative 3 minus 14, which is negative 17 pi. So this is, so for this case, it's 11 pi over 7, negative pi over 7. And where is your pi symbol in your calc? In here is you have to go underneath symbols. There's a pi right here. So make sure you use the pi symbol when you put in your answer. You guys are right here with this. Last time, if you remember, complementary is 90 degrees, right? You add the angles. Supplementary is 180 degrees. So again, this is in degrees. In radians, we do pi over 2 and pi, because 90 degrees is pi over 2, 180 degrees is pi. So, so in this case, if you want to find what is the complementary of pi over 6, so you take pi over 2 minus pi over 6. And you get your complementary. Supplementary, you take pi minus pi over 6. And find the LCD and so on, and then you find, so this is 6. So this is 3, 6. And 3 pi minus 2 is 2 pi. And then reduce and become pi over 3. You guys all right here?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much the same. So you do not need to, so what you do is do not need to worry much about, just change all your degrees to become radian. Talking about that, you need to know how to change degree to radian. So as you know that, because I always forget how to change degree to radian. So I have a way to do it. So we know we don't use 90. Let's do, no, we don't use 90 because it's fraction. We know 180 degrees is pi, right? So if a question wants you to change, like here, 30 degrees into radian. So 30 degrees into radian. So how do we do that is we use proportion. So what we do is make it over. So this will be 180 over 300 equals to pi over x. So this is one way to do it. If I want to do question 22a, and then you cross multiply 180x equals to 300 pi, and then you divide by 180. So 0 and 0 can cancel out. 30 and 80, they can reduce by 6, 18. So that would be 5 pi. So this is how we do convert degree to radian. But there is also another shortcut. Is because if you remember, if you see this, you just take that number 300 and you multiply by pi over 180. So if you want to do this, you just multiply by pi over 180. Okay. So for example, here is when you have like 160 degrees. So how you convert into radians, you just multiply this by pi over 180. That is a shortest cut. But if you doesn't know it, then you just do the proportion I showed to you. The 0 and 0 can cancel out. 16 and 18, you can reduce by 2, I believe. Yep. So you will get 8 pi over 9. So this is your answer for question B. So, so this is how you do from degree to radian. You multiply by pi over 180. But how do you convert from radian to degree? So what you do is you switch these two around. So instead of pi, you flip it. So instead of pi over 180, you do 180 over pi. So like for the next few questions, like this one, they want you to convert this to radian to degree. So you will have negative 4 pi over 3 times with 180 over pi. The pi and pi will cancel. 3 goes into 180 60 times. So this will become negative 240 degrees. You guys all right here? You guys doing all right? Yes, you will get a unit circles. I will give it to you in the. You guys have any questions? How to convert degree to radian, radian to degree? Questions?
All good.
And then I'll show you a shortcut for everything. Okay. So there are shortcuts. So if your terminal angles is all with 30 degrees, your radian is over 6. Okay. For example, and this is 30 degrees here in quadrant 1. In quadrant 2, it's 150 because this is also 30. In quadrant 3, it's 210 because 180 plus 30 is 210. And then in quadrant 4 is 330 because it's going to be right here. So 1 and then 2 is like this. That's why you got 150. 3 will be like this. That's why you get 210. And then this will be 330 because 360 minus 30. So this is all in degrees for 30 degrees. They call it as the forgot the name. It's not the terminal. I forgot what's the name. Our reference. They call it reference angle. So if you want to make all this as radian for this 30, they're all going to be over 6. So what you do is you increase this. This is 1. So this is not 2. The reason why this is not 2 pi over 6 is because 2 and 6 can be reduced. So what you do is you increase to 3. You cannot be 3 over 6 because 3 over 6 can be reduced. It cannot be 4 over 6 because 4 over 6 can be reduced. So this will be 5 over 6 because 5 over 6 cannot be reduced. And then you keep on going. 6 over 6 can be reduced. 7 over 6 cannot be reduced. So this is 7 pi over 6. 8 over 6 can be reduced. So it's not this one. 9 over 6 can be reduced. 10 over 6 can be reduced. So this one is going to be 11 pi over 6. So this is how we figure out this quick without doing any, because you need this for the next section or the reference angle. Okay. So this is all for 30 degrees. Then we do one for 45 degrees. So for 45 degrees, it's all over 4, which is half of pi over 2. So if you have a 45 degree, this is quadrant 1. I'll just draw up. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. So for quadrant 2, the 45 degrees is 180 take away 45, which is 135 degrees. And then for quadrant 3 is 180 plus 45, which is 225 degrees. And for quadrant 4 is 360 minus 45, which is 315. And as usual for the radian, because they are all referenced to 45 degrees, they all will be over 4. And we do the same thing as what I did over here. So this is 1. So this one cannot be 2 over 4 because 2 over 4 can be reduced. So this will be 3 pi over 4. It cannot be 4 over 4 because it can be reduced. So this is 5 pi over 4. It cannot be 6 pi over 4 because it can be reduced. This will be 7 pi over 4. So this is for 30 degrees, 45 degrees reference angle. And then we got one more, which is 60 degrees reference angle. So I have to erase a little bit here. You guys okay here so far? You guys are really quiet here. So this is very important. I'm showing you here is because a lot you were using this throughout this whole half of the semester here when we do trig, because we'll be doing a lot of 30, 45, and 60, and the reference angle for that. Okay. So for 60 degrees, we got 60 degrees here. So for quadrant 2, it's going to be 120 degrees. For quadrant number 3, it's going to be 180 plus 60, which is 240. No, 180 plus 60. Yeah, 140. Yep. And then the next one is going to be 300, quadrant 4, because 360 subtract by 60 is 300. And for all the 60 degrees, your radian is over 3. So 30 is over 6, 60 is over 3, 45 is over 4. So this is pi over 3. This is 2 pi over 3 because it cannot be reduced. 3 pi over 3 can be reduced, so it's not 3. This is 4 pi over 3 because 4 and 3 cannot be reduced. And this is 5 pi over 3. So this is your 30, 60, 45 degrees, and this is very important. This is in radian. The red one is in radian, the black one is in degree, and then this one is quadrant 1, this one in quadrant 2, this one in quadrant 3, and then this one in quadrant 4. So this is a fastest way for you to do it. So if I have example is if you have like example like here 5 pi over 3, which is this one, is 5 pi over 3. So your answer here is 300. Negative 4 pi over 3. This is negative 4 pi. Where's my over 3? This is over 3. So, but watch out when you have a negative 4 pi over 3. This is not negative 240. Oh, this is negative. So I put negative 240. And that is wrong. So that is wrong. So can someone tell me what happens when you get a negative 1? So this is wrong. If you put negative 40 there, it's going to be wrong. So what happens when you got negative? Anyone? If you have negative, you switch them around. So quadrant 1 will become quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 will become quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 and 3 will be switched around. So like here, when you have a negative, I say it's 240 is wrong because it's negative. So you switch it back. So it's going to be negative 120. Right? I think so. I'm sorry. I need to figure out if this is correct or not. I think that's how you do it. So that's the reason why sometimes it's so tricky about this. Oh, no, it's actually the same thing, negative 240. My bad. My bad is 240. My bad. Ooh, sorry. That is, let me check it. My bad is not this. No. That's the other one. Sorry. That is, yep. So no. Your origin is correct. So if you have a negative, then you just put a negative. My bad. Forget about what I just told you. So if you have a negative, you just put a negative in front. Sorry, I messed up with, I got those two confused with another one. You guys all right here? Questions?
So,
yeah, sorry about just now. So we are running out of time. So the only thing that I didn't point out to you is there are some formulas in here in this section. So this is 6.1, which is, I think a lot of you we'll talk more when we talk about the formulas, which is right over down here. But in 6.2 is very easy. 6.2 is based on one thing, your right triangle straight. I'll just go through this very quick. So if this is theta, 6.2 use a lot of this, and you also will use a lot of this in the future. Yeah, Grace, you're right. So first thing I want to point out to you when you do 6.2 is you use what we call as opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. So the longest side is always your hypotenuse. The one across from it is called the opposite from the angle. And the one that close to it is called adjacent. Okay. So so in 6.2, we will have what we call as SOHCAHTOA. Sine theta is actually opposite over by your hypotenuse. That's why this is called SO, because S, O, and H. Tangent theta is opposite over by adjacent. We call it as TOA, which is tangent is opposite and adjacent. And cosine theta is adjacent over by hypotenuse, which is called a car. So this is called SOHCAHTOA, which is a famous trick. And this is used for right triangle only. And this angle has to be from 0 to 90 degrees, which is acute. Okay. Now, as you know that when you have sine, tangent, and cosine, we have its in reciprocal, I mean flip-flop. So the sine theta, the flip-flop, or the inverse of, not the inverse, the reciprocal of sine is called cosecant theta. And instead of doing opposite over hypotenuse, you flip it. So it's going to be hypotenuse over by opposite. Okay, so this is called cosecant theta, which is the inverse of sine. Tangent theta is called cotangent theta, and that will be adjacent and opposite. So you have to flip your fraction. And then cosine in this case will be secant theta, and that will be hypotenuse over adjacent. Okay, so this is the well-known this is mostly 6.2 that I will point out to you that you use a lot of this. So for example is if I give you some numbers, let's say 5 and 2, and usually in your homework, they always give you like this, and then they want you to find all the sine, cosine, all these 6 trigonometry. The first thing you need to know is how you figure out this length. So in order for you to figure out this length, you have to use your Pythagorean theorem. This is your A, this is your B, and then this is your C. Your hypotenuse is always the longest one. So 4a squared plus b squared, we doesn't know that. C squared is 25. And then you subtract 4, so b squared in this case is 21. And then b will be square root of 21. So this is square root of 21. And this will be your hypotenuse. This will be your opposite. And this will be your adjacent, since your theta is here. So if I want you to find what is sine theta in this case, sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's square root of 21 over 5, which is this over that. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is square root of 21 over 2. And cosine is adjacent with hypotenuse, which is 2/5. Okay. For cosecant, you take all these fractions you have and you flip it. So cosecant is the flip of sine. So this is going to be 5 over root 21. You flip him. But if you put this in your homework or my test, you won't get full points. The reason why is because you cannot have square roots in the denominator. So you have to rationalize this. So you have to multiply this by root 21. So this is 5 root 21 over 21. Cotangent theta, you take tangent and flip it, is 2 over root 21. And then if you rationalize this, you move this up there. So 2 root 21 over 21. And for secant, you switch to 5, become 5 over 2. So this is mostly what you will learn in 6.2. It's very heavy on this SOHCAHTOA that you learn here. And don't forget, this is all for acute. So for the following week, when you do the 6.3, then it can be any angles we want. That means it can be positive, it can be negative, it can be more than one circles, so on. So that's the reason why that right now we are doing acute first from 0 to 90 or 0 to pi over 2 because it's in radian. Then the rest is all going to be in any angles. So that one's a bit more tough. So your homework for today is due is 5, 5, and 9, 1. The homework for next week is 6, 1, and 6, 2. you have a test today, so it's due by tomorrow noon. So, so I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop recording here.